What is going on, everyone? I hope you are all doing well today. And a couple days ago, we got that amazing new trailer for Legend of Zelda Echoes of Wisdom, and it made me think of two specific games that I know everybody wants to come to Switch. I don't even have to tell you, do I? And I hate to say it, Wind Waker HD and Twilight Princess HD, it's time to let those games go. Look, I get it, they are great games, and Nintendo has brought nearly every other great Wii U game to Switch, and porting these two would literally give us all the big 3D games on one system. But clearly, Nintendo is just not interested. These games have been rumored for so long, and year after year, direct after direct, these games continue to remain absent. And one of the things that I think many people expected was if we go back to the Legend of Zelda 35th anniversary, people expected those two games to drop there. At this point, we were still at the very height of the pandemic, and Nintendo was really struggling to put games out, and Tears of the Kingdom, known then as Breath of the Wild 2, was being pushed, and it definitely wasn't coming out anytime soon. We had Skyward Sword HD, but when Aonuma came up and said no other games planned, I'm sure that threw a whole lot of people for a loop. Like, I don't know, the two biggest games that remain on a dead console, you couldn't bring those over to Switch with one of the biggest install bases? But the case can also be made that yes, this was back in 2021, we were still coming out of the pandemic and game development was being impacted, and their plans to celebrate the 35th anniversary could have also been impacted. But we will never know this because Nintendo never releases any canceled plans for the public viewing. They never do. It's also perfectly logical to assume that Nintendo might have wanted to save these games prior to Tears of the Kingdom's launch because they wanted to make sure that this new game had its chance to do its best before they started bringing these games out. But Tears of the Kingdom is out. These games are still nowhere to be found. And many have started to ask the question, why? Why bring every other Wii U game and leave these games locked behind such a dead console? And the reason? Nintendo just doesn't care. How do I know this? This game! I really am looking forward to Echoes of Wisdom. I'm very excited to play as Zelda and to experience all these new abilities, and it's going to be so much fun, especially getting to go back to Link to the Past's Hyrule. Very excited for that. But if Nintendo was going to announce Wind Waker and Twilight Princess HD, it would have been in the June Nintendo Direct. We're nearing the end of the Switch life cycle. We're due for a Switch 2 announcement in the coming months, and when that announcement comes, all focus will shift to the new system, and then there will be no point in porting these games. Once that Switch 2 trailer drops, no one's gonna care. There might be a select few who care, but the overall general audience, no one's gonna care. There's so much hunger right now for a Switch 2 announcement. I see it online every day. People are like, Switch 2 announcement needs to happen. The Switch is a dying piece of hardware. They need to upgrade. It's time. 2025, it will have been 8 years. It's beyond time. They just need to go ahead and do it. When that announcement drops, no one's gonna care. And I think Nintendo understands that. In reality, this all comes back to the so-called insiders and so-called leakers who said that these games were coming.
First, you lied, right? Then you lied about lying. Okay? Then you lied about lying about lying.
2021, 2022, and yes, even in 2023. Year after year after year, we heard the same thing. They're coming. They're coming.
They're coming.
But I'm sorry, I have lost all hope. And it looks like I'm not alone because I put out a community post asking the question on whether or not we should let these games go or whether or not we should keep hoping that these games get announced and are released. And by an overwhelming 68%, you guys said yes, it is time to let them go. And I do not blame you. But not only that, I gave you guys a chance to say why we should let them go or why we should keep hoping that they're announced. But all of you guys made some really great arguments, and I'd like to feature them here, so here we go. Nighttime Luigi says, I will never let those two go. Besides, no way Nintendo will forget about them. They'll find a way to make more money off of them by selling them again and again, since those are two of the greatest titles in the Zelda franchise. Popular demand equals yes. Maybe. I wish I knew how to hope. Teach me your ways. Eliza the Bard says, I think we should let them go and enjoy the new Zelda games coming out instead of obsessing over old ones. Yeah, Nintendo, whenever they released that brand new Zelda trailer, that 5-minute long Zelda trailer, you know what they were saying?
Let the past die.
Yeah. Alcamp5369 says, I feel like Nintendo is waiting for them to release it with a 4K branding next generation. They rarely sell an enhanced port again unless they can brand it differently, such as Donkey Kong Country Returns 3D, which is now they can brand as HD. Also, I feel like they are waiting for a year with no planned Zelda game to drop those two. 2022 would have been perfect, but they probably weren't anticipating Tears of the Kingdom to be delayed. My one counter argument with that is they sort of did anticipate that. They made the decision themselves to spend an extra year to get the bugs out. The game was done in 2022. Fans, yo, Nintendo, where be the Wind Waker and Twilight Princess ports? Nintendo, oh, those are on Wii U. fans. Okay, well what if we don't have a Wii U? Nintendo, snickers. Fans, just put them on Switch. Nintendo.
That's not how the Force works. Oh, really? You're cold?
Finally, Ricky Lee Norton says, I personally think they are still coming. I could be wrong, but my theory as to why they haven't brought them back yet is because they're planning to do more with them, with remakes, or because they're waiting until a time when Zelda's more popular. But I definitely think they're coming. They're so iconic and beloved, and everyone wants them on Switch. It would just absolutely make no sense to not bring them to Switch or Switch 2. It's just an obvious win for Nintendo, and that's why I think they're still gonna bring them back. They know what they are doing now and clearly have a plan. We just have to have faith in them and to be a bit more patient and to see what that plan is. And with how much incredible stuff they've delivered on Switch, I don't think that's too much to ask. For you to continue to have hope, that's amazing. Please teach me your ways. But you all made excellent cases as to why we should forget about it or why we should move on. But now I officially want to turn it over to all of you who are watching this video right now. Comment below, start the discussion. Do you agree with the arguments that have been made? Do you think Wind Waker and Twilight Princess HD have no hope of coming to Switch? Should we forget about them? Are you still one of the ones out there who are hoping that it does come to Switch and you are hoping that it happens? If so, again I say, please teach me your ways. That's going to do it for today's video. I hope you guys have enjoyed yourself. Be sure to leave a like and subscribe if you're brand new to the channel. The support truly does mean the world. And until the next video or next live stream, take care everyone.